Hey, it's TRIXXI'S. Welcome to the underground. Now, before we get to Jimmy Kimmel, you guys know I'm going to talk about that, right? Because you know I love Jimmy Kimmel. Boy, were we arguing. I have no energy left to argue with anybody who is not for the First Amendment. And you know what? Don't like a lot of things people on the right say, but I'm going to defend their right to be hateful. They can do it. It's legal. Unless their job decides it's not. But not the government's job. All right, let's go. Yahoo Entertainment and Reality T. If I sound funny, it's because I have a cold again! Again! I have heat stroke, I got stung by a bee, and now I'm sick again. It's never ending with my life. So, I just like to thank President Trump for ruining the economy because I had no traffic going into the Big E, except for yesterday. So, it was nice. No cars going in, no cars coming out. Thank you. That was good. I also had a 34-year-old man, try to pick me up. He was cute, and he gave me his number. I lied. I actually lied. I said I was with somebody. Didn't tell him I was gay. But he goes, if it doesn't work out, just give me a call. I was like, I'm twice your age. Well, I'm not twice his age, but you know what I mean. Might as well be. See, this is funny because I like older women, but I like younger guys. I'm so weird. He was cute. You know what? I still got it. Okay, so Taylor Swift was at the Kansas City Chiefs game. We didn't know because there was a big black wall covering her. If she thinks that that's going to stop people from speculating, it actually makes it worse. Like, who's behind the big black wall? So, Travis was nutso. He dropped a big catch that was crucial to and, you know, it might have cost him the game. He threw his helmet. He was screaming, I'm sick of this shit. I read his lips. I'm not sure if he was fine, though, but Taylor was shaken. Supposedly shaken. A source, now I hate it when they say this. A source says, you know, she was privately shaken, and the source told Rob Shutter the outburst also had something to do with being Mr. Taylor Swift. He's not used to being under this kind of scrutiny. I don't know, but whatever. He's not going to play much longer. Probably another year. Okay. The Northeast states have formed a health alliance, and that's me, Massachusetts, against the Trump administration. F you, RFK Jr., with your damn no vaccines. I probably caught this from a sick person that wasn't vaccinated. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have the flu. I don't think I have COVID either. You never know. Like, I don't know if it's sinus. Like, there's so many things that can be wrong. I think I just have a run-of-the-mill cold. New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, and Delaware. What about Vermont? I would think Vermont would get in on this. I have no idea. But anyway, they're trying to get Vermont. All the smart states. Vaccines, emergency preparedness. New Hampshire, not on the list. They have a Republican governor that I think somebody tried to kill her. Not sure. Crazies all the time. I can't keep up with all these mass shootings. I'm serious. These assassinations. I mean, so to Marjorie Taylor Greene, we went to see the divorce attorney. She said she wants a national divorce. Do they really think? Do the red states think we can't live without them? Do they think they can't live without us? Look, I don't want to do it, but if you don't stop, we're going to do it. J.D. Vance hosted the Charlie Kirk show and said, quote, it's a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left. He's pulling things out of his ass. The Department of Justice, I should say injustice now, just removed a study, white supremacists and violence from the right, the far right, groups is the greatest source of domestic terror of extreme violence in the United States. Whatever they tell you, it's the opposite, okay? Okay, ABC took Jimmy Kimmel off. Not saying they fired him. What is it? They took him off indefinitely. That was the word. Backlash. I don't even like ABC. They caved to Trump. They gave him $16 million or whatever. He doesn't even know. And then they took Jimmy Kimmel off. Oops. Sorry, just had the urge to choke. And then Trump said he's going after The View. The View hasn't talked about Jimmy Kimmel all week. This is bothering me. Go down swinging, as Bill Maher says. Go down swinging. Jimmy Fallon didn't stop. Seth Meyers didn't stop. I'm not stopping. I'm not big enough for them to care. But, that's how it goes. So Trump's new FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, threatened to take away ABC's broadcast license, saying that we can do this the hard way or the easy way. Right before it happened, when I was watching Jimmy Kimmel, it was the funniest thing because they showed Trump and Melania getting questioned, or he was getting questioned, and they asked him something, he couldn't hear it. And then a Melania voice said, they want to know when the next time you're going to be pooping in your pants. I mean, listen, I need Jimmy Kimmel. It makes me laugh. Is it sometimes mean? Yes, but he's a comedian. If you don't like him, don't watch him. I don't watch Fox News. I don't tell people not to watch it. Who cares? There's something for everybody. So, Nexstar, the largest owner of ABC stations, are awaiting Trump's approval for a merger deal to grow even bigger. So yes, this is what they're doing. It's all about the money. Trump calls negative news coverage of him really illegal. So look at this. We can't even talk about him. He's so thin-skinned. He looks like a weakling. He wants Pam Bondi to prosecute free speech. We're all going to end up in jail. This is the most important amendment. That's why it's the first. Okay? You can argue whether or not the government did it. ABC did make the decision. According to Ted Cruz, though, who's a constitutional lawyer and a freaking Republican, I agree with him for the first time in my life. He said FCC Chairman Brendan Carr's threat to ABC over Kimmel was dangerous as hell. That's a quote. Dangerous as hell. Quote, that's right out of Goodfellas. Did they say that in Goodfellas? That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, I think that was the Untouchables, going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. That might be the Untouchables. No, maybe he said nice family. Whatever. I'm Italian. I know this stuff. This is how it goes. He warned if the government gets into the business of bans and regulating what the media says, quote, that will end up bad for conservatives. I mean, he doesn't care about the liberals. He's thinking of himself. It's so funny. Makes me think of Newt Gingrich when they were talking about health care. And he said, yeah, I agree with, national health care because I don't want to pay for my neighbor's health care. He wasn't saying everybody should be covered. They're the Sith. They're the Sith in Star Wars. They're the bad ones. So it's called jawboning. I looked this up. Jawboning, the definition is the use of public appeals as by a president to influence the actions, especially of business and labor leaders. Broadly, the use of spoken persuasion. Yeah, I mean, come on. If Ted Cruz is saying it. So this is what Jimmy said that was so bad. And I don't even think he wasn't even talking about Charlie Kirk. He was talking about the killer. And you know what? I have to say, Jimmy was, well, we don't know yet, but I think Jimmy was wrong. They're all yelling at me saying he's a liar. But it's not illegal to lie anyway, but I think he got it wrong. He said the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, which I think because he meant the family was Republican, but I disagree with Jimmy here. But that doesn't mean he should have been thrown off the air for it. And it wasn't even that bad. He wasn't celebrating his murder. He sent a tweet to Charlie Kirk's family saying how sorry he was that it happened, and he offered his condolences. And he says, and doing everything they can do to score political points from it. He criticized the flags being flown at half-mast in honor of Kirk and mocked Trump's reaction to the shooting, saying, you must be horrified that he was, he's your friend and he was killed. And Trump redirected to the ballroom, that the ballroom's coming along nicely. Jim, I'm sorry, but I'm coughing up a lung here. I keep having to pause. He says, this is not how a man that grieves the murder of someone he calls a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. I mean, look, this is an attack on free speech. It's not the employer making the decision. It's a threat from a governing body. Stephen Miller, he's like the worst. He went on a tirade at Fox about cracking down on liberal left-leaning violence. The study, according to the Cato Institute, which is right-wing, by the way, Right-wing violence is 6 times more likely to occur than left-wing. It doesn't matter. Both of them are wrong. And now the left is starting to go crazy. We can't have both sides crazy. So a government official is the head of a powerful regulatory body acting in official capacity, threatened ABC by pulling their license based on speech content. It's a threat to the First Amendment. The FCC is not a person. It's a threat from the government, and it's an attack on free speech. Brendan Carr, you suck. How's that for free speech? Benny Johnson. This is the podcaster where Brendan Carr said this. So this is interesting. Was one of the influencers from Russian state media. Lovely. This is American. This is great. He's kind of a traitor to me. Funded the Russian state media funded to spread propaganda before the 2024 election. After Jimmy Kimmel was suspended, Johnson posted on social media, quote, "We did it for you, Charlie, and we're just getting started." Charlie Kirk wouldn't want free speech stifled. He used to argue with people all the time that disagreed with him. Damien, it's all for you. They don't even know their own guy. Charlie Van Johnson was saying on CNN, Charlie wanted to debate him on his show the day before he died. And so he engaged. That's what it's all about. So that's one good thing about him. He wanted to protect the First Amendment. Sinclair Broadcast Group, the largest of ABC's affiliate group, called on Jimmy to make a direct apology to the Kirk family and for ABC, and to make a meaningful donation bribe to them and Turning Point USA. You know what? Don't do it, Jimmy. Bill Maher got thrown off ABC for his comments after 9/11, and he's on HBO. We'll see you again. Your contract almost up. I guess he met with ABC. His lawyers met with ABC. Everybody's got, I'm telling you, they're all going against ABC except maybe Trumpers, but that's not like a large portion of the country. So we spend money. I'm not going to Disney. I don't even want to watch. What's next? He doesn't like the storylines on General Hospital? Hey, you got 2 gay guys on there. We're going to pull we're going to pull the shows. So Sinclair Broadcast Group is a conservative, which is fine. Right-leaning, politically long history of promoting these views, which that's fair. They can do that in radio and TV. This is where I come from, so I already know this stuff. Owned by the Smith family, Executive Chairman David D. Smith is a Donald Trump supporter. Totally legal. You can put on whatever programming you like. I'm just telling you the background. So Jimmy Fallon has not, he's getting more political, which I applaud. ABC wants Kimmel to back, but they want him to tone it down. I would say no way. Don't do it. Just leave. So it's okay for Fox's Brian Kilmeade to suggest lethal injection for homeless people, for mentally ill homeless people. No firing. He just apologized. Sorry, I sounded like a Nazi. He said they should be getting involuntary lethal injections if they don't accept help. That's what Nazi Germany did. Okay? That's why we think of Nazi, I'm not calling him a Nazi and all that, but that's comparable to what the Nazis did to mentally ill people. They had that euthanizing mentally ill people in Hitler's reign. Keep going, Republicans, you're not so far away. He said you can't give them a choice. Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them. What a heartless bastard. He said we aren't voting for the right people. Oh, you're not happy with Trump now? That's insane. It's insane. He sounds like a psychopath. The projections on Windsor Castle when Trump was in the UK had Trump and Epstein together before people were arrested. I guess they don't have the free speech we do as of right now. Look, the dumbo, Eric Trump, said on Fox that Charlie Kirk became the second son of his father. I'm sorry to laugh. Aren't you the second son? Isn't Donnie the first son and you're the younger one? Has he replaced you? I wouldn't be surprised. I would! Unbelievable. A new bill will let Marco Rubio take away passports. You ain't touching mine. to United States citizens for what they say. Maybe you're touching mine. Maybe you're going to take it. I gotta devise a plan. I mean, again, violation of the First Amendment. They say it's to target terrorism. Bunch of lies. Some vague language about material support would punish speech and activism that they don't like. That's where it's headed, guys. Jay-Z and Beyonce have a $57 million mortgage. Aren't they billionaires? Why don't they just pay their mortgage? Property records examined by Daily Mail suggest they took out 2 mortgages on their $88 million Bel Air mansion. I don't understand why. Didn't they just have dinner with Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump? Okay, I want to keep going, but I'm dying. Couples are more likely to share psychiatric disorders. This is from Science Alert. Studies show, this is new research, analyze 6 million couples, Taiwan, Denmark, Taiwan. Sorry, guys, I'm dying. Denmark and Sweden found people more likely to share psychiatric disorders. Oh my God, I went with a bipolar woman. Does that mean I do? My mental health counselor, she said I'm bipolar manic. I know I'm not bipolar, like, depression. So these are the disorders. Schizophrenia. I thought that was rare. ADHD, that's me. Depression, not me. Autism, anxiety, that's me. Bipolar. I mean, okay. Okay. Old drug... What? I can't even read my writing. Old drug addicts? Is this right? Old drug addicts? Okay. Called spousal correlation. 3 factors going on. We pick partners like ourselves. That is not true. I do not pick anybody like me. Maybe the last one, we were kind of opposites, but alike. Does that make any sense? We live in the same environment, and we become alike. I mean, I like somebody who's not like me. But same energy. Our choice of partners are limited. Well, that's true. If the parents had a disorder, it shows up in kids. Yeah, that makes sense. That was published in Nature Human Behavior. My ex, her father had bipolar. All right, guys, I can't make it through. I think I'm going to drop dead. I had to pause this. If you see any kind of edits, I was pausing so I could cough up a lung. All right, we'll see you next week. I'm going to watch football. Love you. Bye.